2020. Man, it was going to be your year. You had dreams, you had plans, you even had trips fully booked. This was going to be the year you finally set out to make all the travel videos you've been wanting to make. But now, plans are canceled and it's just you, your camera, and your computer with no new adventures to work on. So, what do?
Well, you learn how to make travel videos when you can't travel. Because if making travel videos is something you really want to do, then you need to start doing it without letting anything hold you back. In this video, I'm going to outline exactly how you can make travel videos without traveling, using storytelling techniques paired with creative assets and previously shot footage, even if it isn't that great. And even if you don't have previously shot footage, I still have a solution for you. The process I'm about to outline is very flexible and can be shifted to suit the media you have. Learning to produce videos this way will strengthen your overall skills as a video creator, even if you can't travel. So when this whole lockdown thing is over, you'll be ready to go back at travel vlogging, more skilled, more well-prepared, more established, and just ready to crush it. This video is brought to you by Storyblocks. Head to the link in the description to learn about Storyblocks video, or just hang tight because I'll give you the full scoop on this powerful resource in a moment. Hi friends, I'm Alicia and this is AMaeTV, where I help you level up your travel vlogging and video production skills. And here we are in mid-2020, still not traveling for the most part, at least by plane, but that's okay. I still want to help you become a better travel vlogger or maybe just start making travel videos. I've seen a handful of established creators call it quits on travel vlogging due to the 2020 lockdown, and that's okay. We all need a break sometimes. I certainly did. But I want you to know, if you're one of those people that was just gearing up, ready to go and start making videos, travel videos in 2020, then you don't need to put a pause on things. You can still start your channel and develop your skills despite the difficulties surrounding travel right now. There will once again be a market for travel and for those who cover it. And just because you can't practice all aspects of travel filmmaking right now, like the traveling or the filming part, doesn't mean you can't practice some. So let's go ahead and look at the aspects of travel filmmaking. Well, there's the idea part, the storyline development, the filming part, the editing, and then any effects or graphics or overlays you might want to add to make it all extra special. And then if you're doing this with the aim of growing a YouTube channel, there's the thumbnail, SEO, upload process, along with the idea of actually getting your channel going with some published content, which is always done better sooner than later. Now, one thing to understand, especially if you're just starting out, is that your first batch of videos is very likely not going to be great. It's something that holds a lot of new YouTubers back. They think their work isn't good, so why publish it? But in reality, if you don't work through that first batch of videos, you'll never get to the second batch of videos or the third or fourth batch, which is going to be much closer to great. So if you follow what I'm about to outline for you, you'll have a head start on learning the lessons that come with making your first videos, plus you'll have something to publish to get your channel going. These are the skills you'll be building on without ever touching a camera or traveling. And if you're not just getting started making travel videos, that's even better, because I know you'll definitely have some of this on hand. And that is old, incomplete, not so great, maybe edit one day kind of footage of places that you traveled to, but it's just sitting on a hard drive because you shot it and you weren't really sure what to do with it. You didn't feel like maybe you shot enough to really tell the full story of your travels. Or maybe you have some Instagram story clips that are travel vlog-ish and are awesome and would be great to transform into something more substantial and more permanent. Either one is perfect. They'll serve as a perfect base for your video. I decided I wanted to be fully genuine with my demonstration process, so I dug up a folder of footage from early 2018 that I took from a family trip to Disney. Since I was on a big hiatus from vlogging after having a baby, of course I wanted to film some stuff because I had a little break from the baby, but I wasn't completely committed to editing the vlog because I still had the baby. So I kind of did a half vlog and then the footage just sat until now. So hopefully you can find a similar project for this exercise. And here is the process. First, gather up all of your old footage or IG story clips from the destination and do a little rough cut edit in your timeline. Do not discount footage because the audio is terrible. Just go ahead and mute that audio, but hang on to the visuals. And especially look for the clips where you do say something to the camera that kind of carries the story along. Compile your best clips in a rough sequence and take notes on which elements of the story they do tell well. I like to use these title bars in Final Cut and Control-click to rename the clip. So walking into Disney, that is my note. I also like to insert a placeholder in spots where I know the clip will leave a significant break in the story. So after you've gathered your half collection of footage and made this rough edit, next grab your pen and paper and write out the story that you want to tell. You can also do it on your computer. And just remember that the things you see on TV or in films or in video are often just as much about writing as they are about the filming and the editing and the sound. So what you're writing is essentially a script that you will deliver either via voiceover or on camera. So you're going to write your script in chunks, and then those chunks are going to fill in the gaps between the shots where you are explaining things to the camera. Tell the story of your adventure and wrap that story around the bits of actual footage where your clips can take over to tell the story directly. So maybe it's just one quick soundbite of you sharing your thoughts. This is really rather impressive so far. Or maybe it's an entire segment that covers an experience, but you didn't feel like that experience was enough for a standalone video. So you want to treat those little gems of good footage by cradling them within a script and then weaving them into a larger story. I hope that makes sense, and if you need a few examples, here are a few. I use this technique a lot in early travel videos I produced before I was really comfortable sharing a bunch of details with the camera as I was traveling. Here I go.
And for some reason, I wasn't really expecting to see the whale sharks the very moment I dove in.
Okay, there he is.
So of course I had to use his extra help to finally get up on that rock, and be careful not to fall off of it. And speaking of danger, now Gabriel and I are checking out the cactus garden.
And granted, I did usually have enough footage to support those voiceover storylines. But if you're like, okay, I've got my story and I've got my clips, but I definitely don't have enough clips to cover the audio where I'm telling the story. Or if you're like, well, how the heck do I even know if my clips will cover the audio where I'm telling the story? Then what you want to do is record a practice run in your editor so you can kind of get everything rough draft laid out. So in Final Cut Pro, you can just go to Window, Record Voiceover. You can select the mic right here. And while you may want to hook up a good studio mic for your final, you can keep it on the computer's internal microphone for now. Remember, it's a practice run, so you can edit, change, and not worry about how you sound. And the best part about it is that as you deliver this practice run, it's what prepares you for delivering your actual script when it is time to finalize it and record it. Now back to the problem of having too much script for your footage. If this is the case, then you have two options. You can either shorten your script or expand your footage. And you may need to do both. Editing a tight script is important, but expanding your footage is particularly exciting because the more visual offerings you can put in your video, the more your viewers will naturally stay engaged. So you can go out and try to shoot something that will somehow fit into your vlog. That would greatly depend on if the locations matched, but a more fun and effective way to do it is to do what the pros do and use a resource like Storyblocks. Storyblocks is a stock footage video library with over 1 million assets, including stunning video clips, animated backgrounds, After Effects templates, sound files, titles, and more. Storyblocks is constantly updating their library, so you always have fresh options, and they offer flexible and completely affordable subscription plans that scale to meet your needs. So follow my link in the description below, check out Storyblocks, and let me know what you think of their content. Let me know a way that you could think of that you might be able to use it in your video productions. So some of my favorite clips for travel videos are drone shots, time-lapse shots, macro shots, and unidentified people shots. These are all things that just add that extra layer of wow to your video without being too personal or throwing off the vibe of what you might have been shooting with your main camera. Because it's not about just adding in extra clips of B-roll, it's about finding something that flows with the rest of your video. For example, a drone shot is a great transition to the next scene in your vlog. Maybe it's a new day, so you're showing a sunrise. This is also where you'd get started delivering that script so you can get a jump on telling the story before your actual footage begins. So here's an example of the Disney intro.
Today I will tell you about the time I visited Disney World for the first time as an adult. Ella got to be a big girl by staying alone with her grandparents, while my husband and I got to act like kids again, run wild, and explore Disney together.
So to get those two sentences spoken for the intro, I combined that establishing drone shot from Storyblocks with shots of my own experience that blended into the context and style of the Storyblocks clip. Diving a bit deeper into the experience, later on I have a visit to the Dumbo ride, which was actually a big deal in the story, so I realized I had the lead in and then my exclamation of approval at the end, but no real center. So I grabbed a Storyblocks clip, which gave us a convenient wide shot of the ride to help carry the story, and then I cut back to my own ending.
When I came here when I was 5, my only dream was to ride the Dumbo ride, and I couldn't because it was broken.
and it was sad. Now I get to relive that experience. And who knew it would be so therapeutic in helping me recover from that childhood experience. It's everything I imagined and more!
Or there's always the option to just use the assets in Storyblocks to make things exciting, more fun, or just fancier. So there you have some ways to expand your footage. And I also told you I'd give you an ultimate alternative if you don't have any footage to work with, as long as you have a story to tell. So what you do is you sit down in front of a camera and you tell your story. It's called a storytime video, except you make it about your travels and you gather up any and all clips that you possibly can to insert over your story to keep the viewer engaged. You can use these clips to cover up edit points in your story and also illustrate any specific points you're talking about. So if you're talking about a tree, if you can get footage of a tree, anything like that helps. You can use your IG story clips, like I said, and any clips from Storyblocks work great as well. Not any clips from Storyblocks, the appropriate clips. Now, if you have any questions or need any clarity on this technique, just leave me a question in the comments and I'll do my best to answer it. Also, let me know in the comments what kind of video you think you might be able to create using this system. Also, leave a link to that video so everyone in the community can check it out. And if you're hungry now for a bit more of a tutorial on fancy cinematic editing, then please check out my How to Edit a Cinematic Video intro. You'll also find a free color grading LUT download in that one. Special thanks again to Storyblocks, and you guys don't forget to check them out via the link below. All right, I will see you in the next video. Bye.